Hello, 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 Aaron here again, and I'm going to be talking to you guys about the last bowl game on the 30th of December, the National University Holiday Bowl between 14th ranked Arizona State and Texas Tech. This features one team who's playing tough and almost made it to the Rose Bowl, going up against a team who's in a free fall and is trying to salvage what's left of their season at this point. Now, first, let's talk about the team that's very heavily favored in this, the Arizona State Sun Devils. It's a mouthful. One of the cooler mascots in college football. These guys, they played really tough this year. They lost on some fluky stuff. They won on some fluky stuff. It was just interesting. They started off with an obvious win over Sacramento State. And then there was a blown call from a referee that actually gave them a 32-30 home win over then 20th ranked Wisconsin. It was kind of gimmicky. It was just a missed call from the ref. Took the time off the clock and didn't allow Wisconsin to try to kick a game-winning field goal. Well, what you gotta do about it? It's sports sometimes. They followed that up, unfortunately for them, with a 42-28 loss at Stanford. More on that here in a second. But they were able to rebound from that with a 62-41 domination of USC. Now, they hosted Notre Dame the week after that, and Notre Dame, being the tough opponent they are, beat them 37-34 in a game that was played at Texas, like Dallas Stadium, I believe. Pretty sure it was Notre Dame Shamrock Series game. But they followed that up at the time being 3-2, when being kind of a fluke, with a bunch of wins. They were able to win the remainder of their schedule for the regular season, and that's huge because most of it was conference play. They beat Colorado. They destroyed Washington 53-24. They dominated Wazoo 55-21. Held out against Utah 20-19. Utah was tough this year for a team that didn't make a bowl game. They beat Oregon State 30-17. Won at UCLA 38-33, and finished the year off with a 58-21 domination over rival Arizona. These guys, they were tough this year, led by Kelly passing the ball with 3,510 yards passing and 28 touchdowns. Their running back Grice actually missed the last two games, including the conference championship game with an injury, but he ran for 996 yards and 14 touchdowns in the games he did play, and he's expected to be back for this, which could be bad news for Texas Tech. Otherwise, they were hoping for a trip to the Rose Bowl, but they had to play Stanford once again in the Pac-12 championship. Sorry, guys, I'm tired. And Stanford steamrolled them 38-14. The worst beatdown in their first game. Nothing they could do about it. Stanford was just a better team this year, I guess, because they beat them twice in a row, and neither one was that close. But Arizona State's still a tough team. They get a lot of passing, 184 yards a game running, 47th in the nation. They score 41 points a game, which is in the top 10, and only gave up 25 a game, which is a little median, a little middle of the pack, but when you're scoring that many points, it doesn't really matter. You can win shootouts with an offense like that. These guys, one of the better teams in the Pac-12, one of the kind of underrated, underappreciated teams in the Pac-12. They can really show up and beat anybody on any given night. It's just whether or not they show up. But they're heavily favored in this game because they're going up against Texas Tech, a team that started out 7-0, was like in the top 10, I believe, in the rankings, and then they just dropped. They lost 5 straight games to finish the year, and it really just killed their season. They were honestly kind of lucky to get this bowl game. They were led by the number 2 ranked passing offense in the nation, 392 yards a game, and they put up a lot of points with it early on. They played SMU, Stephen F. Austin, TCU, Texas State, Kansas, and Iowa State, and West Virginia, and beat all of them, albeit in pretty close games. Most of them were within 2 possessions. I mean, it was the down part of their schedule, honestly. It made them look better than they were because that part of the schedule was so easy on them. But after that, they had 5 straight tough games. They had to play Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, K-State, Baylor, and Texas, and they didn't win a single one. Most of them were borderline blowouts. Their first game against Oklahoma was a 38-30 loss, and that was at Oklahoma, so that was impressive. But After that, 52-34 to Oklahoma State, lost 49-26 to K-State, 63-34 to Baylor, and 41-16 to Texas. Now, those are the kind of teams that are close to what they're going to be playing at Arizona State, so that just doesn't bode well for this team. And also, it doesn't bode well for this team is the fact that Mayfield, their quarterback this year for a good part of it, one of two, is transferring. He announced his plans to the coach, so he's not going to play at all. That means Webb's going to get most of the snaps. Dude threw for 2,315 yards and 16 touchdowns, so he should still be fine. But that's just going to be rough when they don't even have their usual quarterback to rely on here. I mean, these guys, they only run for 121 yards a game, 108th in the nation, so they're really going to be depending on the pass. They scored 35 points a game, and they're going to need something like that, if not more, really, to compete in this game with Arizona State. They averaged giving up 31 a game, which is 90th in the nation. The defense just didn't look that good. I mean, these guys, it's going to be hard for them. They gave up like over 500 yards a game in that five straight loss skid. They were giving up like 280 or something like that to the run. And with Grice coming back for Arizona State, that does not bode well for these guys. I think Arizona State is going to just run all over them. They're going to pass over them. I really just think Arizona State just looks too tough in this game for Texas Tech. I'm going to give Texas Tech props for winning the games they're supposed to and getting themselves in the position to play in this bowl game, but they're going to need a major upset to pull this off. Cliff Kingsbury is an amazing coach, and I think he'll have this team prepared, and they'll show up better than people think they will. But ultimately, I think that Arizona State's going to bring home the victory in California. I think the final score is going to be something in the range of 42-24 Arizona State. So good luck to both teams. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and have a good day.